Yo, check this out. Crazy.
Nationwide over a 5-year span. Fox News correspondent Alicia Acuna on this story.
Organization caused deaths.
Federal authorities in Los Angeles announced the takedown of a Guatemalan criminal organization responsible for one of the largest human smuggling operations in the United States. On Friday, agents arrested Eduardo Domingo Renoch Matul and Cristobal Mejia Chay, both illegal immigrants from Guatemala, for allegedly moving more than 20,000 migrants into the U.S. since 2019. The Border Patrol says agents noticed illegal Guatemalan immigrants being transported with large amounts of cash.
This was more than just a regional smuggling organization. This was a complex, coast-to-coast smuggling organization.
Authorities say the group charged migrants up to $18,000 to get from Guatemala to the Arizona border. The smugglers would then hold the migrants in stash houses in Phoenix and Los Angeles before relocating them around the country.
18,000, did they say? Times that by how much? What?
Been keeping migrants hostage for months in this LA neighborhood if they didn't pay the transport fees. Also charged, Jose Paxtor Oxley, who was already behind bars for killing 7 immigrants, including 3 children, in a 2023 car crash in Oklahoma that happened during a transport from New York to Los Angeles. Another suspect, Elmer Obispo Hernandez, is on the run after authorities say he threatened to kill a federal agent.
While search warrants were being executed in Los Angeles on Friday, he telephoned a member of the investigative team and threatened to kill that agent and his family members by cutting off their heads.
The 3 suspects in custody are being held without bond and face the death penalty if convicted. In Denver, Alicia Acuna, Fox News.
Alicia, thank you.
Oh, man, all the people who are just like, oh, man, Trump, I can't believe he's doing tariffs to Mexico. Oh, I can't believe he designated who as a terrorist organization? Oh my gosh, there's no need for that. Oh, what are you talking about? Oh God, what's he doing that for? Threatened to take people's heads off. A federal agent. What? Oh my gosh, let's keep going.
Thanks so much. In the meantime here, we want to listen to a little bit more of this press conference today with the U.S. Attorney there for the Central District of California announcing these arrests and what went into bringing these people into custody. Let's watch.
Good morning. My name is Joe McNally. I'm the acting United States Attorney here in Los Angeles. I'm joined by my partners in federal law enforcement from Homeland Security Investigations and the United States Border Patrol, Deputy Special Agent in Charge Dwayne Engelbrecht, and Greg Bavino, Chief of the El Centro Sector of the Border Patrol. I'm here to announce an indictment charging 4 defendants with operating one of the largest human smuggling rings in the nation. The indictment alleges a transnational criminal organization smuggled approximately 20,000 illegal immigrants from Guatemala to the United States via Mexico, and then transported these aliens to cities throughout the United States. The offenses alleged in the indictment show a criminal group that acted with callous disregard for our nation's immigration laws and no regard for the immigrants that they smuggled. They held individuals smuggled hostage for months, threatened them and their family members with violence, and others, including children, were killed in a horrific car crash in Oklahoma in 2023.
I just want to say real quick, I mean, this is something I've touched on before, but this is the type of violence that stops when the border is more secure and things like that. Now, obviously, this isn't just a caravan of people walking across. This is an operation where they're probably a lot more organized for the most part, but this is the type of thing that ends up stopping. You know, this is the type of thing that Tom Homan gets all, mad at, gets all pissed off when he's talking to people who just want him or, want him to stop what he's doing, or comparing ICE to the KKK and all sorts of stuff like that. This is the type of stuff that he sees all the time, that he knows about. This is crazy. Because keep in mind, they caught them at 20,000. And they caught them at 20,000, and he said one of the biggest. One of the biggest. How many more are there? And again, he caught them. They caught them 20,000. How many more did they actually do? 1 million? And we're talking about 18,000 a pop. What do you say? 15, 18,000? That's crazy. And I'm not saying it's actually happening, but I'm not saying this is happening, but it would be real easy to pay people off with that kind of money on both sides. Crazy.
The indictment charges 4 defendants, all of whom are illegal aliens from Guatemala who committed crimes while living in the United States. Each defendant faces up to life imprisonment and the possibility of the death penalty. Their crimes include conspiring to transport and harbor illegal aliens for private financial gain, which, as I mentioned, at least in one instance, resulted in death. The ringleader, Eduardo Domingo Renojo Mattel, was arrested and arraigned on Friday, along with his right-hand man, Mahia Cha. Both defendants have pleaded not guilty, and a trial date is being set. Another defendant, Helmer Obispo Hernandez, is a fugitive. He's pictured here. In addition to the charges in the indictment, he's also charged in a federal criminal complaint with threatening to kill a federal law enforcement officer. While search warrants were being executed in Los Angeles on Friday, he telephoned a member of the investigative team and threatened to kill that agent and his family members by cutting off their heads. Those actions demonstrate just how violent this organization is. A fourth defendant is in custody in Oklahoma in connection with the fatal car accident in 2023. The transnational criminal organization operated for at least a dozen years and specialized in smuggling illegal immigrants from Guatemala to the United States. The movement of those illegal immigrants within the United States, especially between Phoenix and Los Angeles, and the harboring of those illegal aliens in the United States. According to the indictment, associates of the organization in Guatemala solicited thousands of illegal immigrants to come to the United States. Those associates then accepted payment between $15,000 and $18,000 for each smuggled alien to come to the United States via Mexico. They coordinated the movement from Guatemala to the United States. Mexican smuggling organizations transported the illegal immigrants from Mexico into the United States, initially to Arizona. Once the illegal immigrants were in the United States, they held them at stash houses, where they were later picked up by the organization's lieutenants. The illegal immigrants then, for an additional fee, were transported and moved to various stash houses throughout the United States, including Los Angeles. Those who did not pay their fees were held hostage, including at a stash house here in the Westlake district of Los Angeles. This organization caused deaths. In November 2023, while transporting illegal immigrants, defendant Jose Paxtor Ola caused a car accident in Elk City, Oklahoma, where he was transporting people illegally. That car accident resulted in 7 deaths. 3 of those individuals are minors, including a 4-year-old child. The actions of this human smuggling organization demonstrates a complete disregard for the nation's immigration laws. As the Attorney General has said, we are doubling down on our efforts to enforce long-standing criminal immigration laws. The failure to enforce those laws fuels these criminal organizations. I thank Homeland Security Investigations, the United States Border Patrol, the Inglewood Police Department for their diligent efforts investigating this dangerous and violent criminal organization. I also thank our prosecutors, Sean Nelson and Elia Herrera, for their work ensuring that these charges were brought and this organization dismantled. The human smuggling case that I've spoken about was part of a week-long series of events focused on revitalizing existing immigration enforcement activities, which include cases in which illegal immigrants were victimized, other cases where people here illegally exploited the nation's immigration laws, and dozens of criminal complaints this week were filed against illegal aliens with criminal records who had been removed from the United States after felony convictions and then returned. These included individuals convicted of violent crimes like manslaughter, assaults on police officers, and drug trafficking. This area of criminal activity is a priority, a top priority for the Department of Justice, and our efforts to target individuals participating in criminal activity here will continue. I'll now turn it over to the Deputy Special Agent Charged from Homeland Security.
Wow. Wow. How crazy is that? A dozen years. A dozen years. A dozen years, they smuggled at least a couple million. At least a couple million over that time, right? Because when they first start, they're not that good at it. Then they start getting some real good years. Then they get real mechanical about it. It becomes like a machine. Oh yeah. And then Biden hits the scene. Numbers skyrocketed. All-time high revenues every single month for sure. This is crazy. Because think about it. They're doing this. Meanwhile, there are huge caravans coming through during the Biden administration. So now they're focused on the huge caravans. Then they have to actually get everything together so they can take all these people in and understand what's going on and process all these people. Meanwhile, these guys are just drive right on through. 18,000. And then think about it. It's just one of them. A dozen years. So let's just be conservative on the low side. Let's say there was 3 of these operations operating for a dozen years. 12 years. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. And now some guys are facing the penalty, man. Yeah. Yeah, you would think so. And again, didn't hear anything about them being a part of any cartel or anything, but this is the type of stuff that Trump is fighting. Yes, Trump, but more so Tom Homan. This is the type of stuff that he's fighting against. This is the type of stuff that he's going hard to actually stop from happening. Like they said, there was a 4-year-old that passed away in that whole thing. It's a couple other minors. That's wild, man. Can't believe that. I didn't see that coming. I was just doing videos here, and then this just popped up. 20,000 immigrants from Guatemala over to Arizona. That's where they were bringing them. And think about that as well. All the commotion. You know what? Now that I think about it, think about this. Think about this. The cartel is known to have a tactic where they will send out a boat. Let's just say it's any type of substance. They'll send out a boat with like 5 kilos, right? Knowing that boat's going to get caught, but they know that the resources are going to swarm that boat, right? Meanwhile, there's 50 going over here and there's 50 going over here. And they know that. What if this was the exact same tactic? Huge caravans coming in. Texas, Eagle Pass, that's where everybody's watching. Everybody's hawk-eyed over there. Meanwhile, over in Arizona, just bringing them through. They know that all these people are going to get caught and processed and this and that. Pure resources, media, Tim Kennedy's over there. Reporters are over there. At one point, National Guard's over there. Federal people go over there. All those resources just focusing on Texas. Meanwhile, Arizona, just waving them in. Just come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Never know. That could have been the tactic the whole time. Anyway, that was absolutely wild.